Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jake and I am glad to say that today I passed 50 subscribers, so that is quite awesome. I might as well start popping bottles now. I'm just kidding. But I did pass 50 subscribers, so everybody who is subscribed, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for helping me reach this milestone, and I'm looking forward to the next, of course. But with that being said, today what I do want to be talking to you about is my top 5 dividend holdings. So these are the companies that I own the most in straight cash that also pay me dividends. And I'm going to be talking about the top 5, not necessarily my favorites or my disfavorites. These are just ones that I accumulated over time by dollar cost averaging in, and companies that I particularly like or think they have a future, or companies that I kind of got even lucky in, and I'll go over that when I talk about them. But that being said, guys, I hope you all had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope you all were staying safe if you were with family, or if you were not, I hope that you were contacting family, and hope you had a good time with whomever you spent Thanksgiving with. But with that being said, guys, we'll go over into Robinhood and track my dividends, and I will show you my top 5 holdings and hopefully gain something out of this. If you do, hit that thumbs up. If you want to help me keep growing, I would greatly appreciate that, and subscribe. But with that being said, we'll get into this. So starting out the list here, we have Cross Timbers Royalty Trust, or CRT. This is one that I owned for pretty much the entire year so far this year. I do have them at an average cost of $6.10. I own 70 of them, and they are 3.96% of my portfolio. Today they are down $1.97, but I am up a total of $153.52. So that is quite awesome with that. They are $580 of my equity in my entire portfolio. So that way, so this is starting at the bottom of the list. And what they are obviously a trust, and they're owned by Southwest Bank, as you can see here. They also distribute their dividends every single month, so you get paid monthly from these guys, and I'll go over that here in a second. But they operate in Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. And as you see down here, I own 70 shares, like I said, and they pay a dividend of 0.0765. So on November 17th, I got paid $5.35 from these guys. And you see that I have been increasing it, and they have recently increased their dividend payout as well. And then if we jump over to track my dividends, here is where things get a little bit different. We have $8.29 for their current price. They have a trailing dividend yield of 9.78%, annual dividend payout of 0.81 USD. And right here, their payout ratio is 100% essentially, right? So that is not what you're looking for. But I do like this company in particular because they have treated me extremely well throughout the time that I have owned them. So I do like that. And their dividends fluctuate quite a lot, like you just saw in Robinhood. They went last month from 0.03 to 0.07, so it over doubled. And their forward dividend yield 11%, trailing dividend, like I said, 9.78. Annual payout, see, it's different here. So this is track your dividends. This is, if you guys watched my videos in the past, this has recently been updated quite drastically. So there are some bugs in this system. Consecutive dividend growth is 0 years because obviously it fluctuates so heavily. But again, this is my bottom of my top 5 of my total equity. So next up here is another one I've talked on this channel about in the past. It is Simon Property Group, or SPG. I own 7 of these guys, and they are 4.08% of my portfolio. They were down today $11.62, and I have a total return of 128 0.72. They are $598.71 of my total portfolio, so a little bit higher than CRT. And what Simon Property Group does is they self-administer and self-manage. So they were way down due to Rona, and they still are quite down from where they were sitting. So this is definitely a recovery stock. Just so you guys are aware, this is not something I would say is going to profit the majority in the short term. But as soon as that vaccine is approved and is distributed, I expect these guys to continue. And again, there's always a risk, of course, that we don't go back to normal shopping habits and whatnot. But I do believe that these guys do have a shot because they do own quite a bit of property as well. These guys do not pay out monthly. They do pay out quarterly. And my last payment was in October 23rd. I owned 5 of them at the time. They paid out $1.30 per share. So that equaled $6.50 from this one dividend, which is pretty awesome. If we jump over here to track my dividends, you will see that the current price is $85.55, which is slightly different. Like I said, they don't update this track your dividends as much as the old one, but there are some bugs that are still being worked out in this. They have a trailing dividend of 7.95%. They have an annual payout of $6.80, and they have a payout ratio of 60.82. That being said, they do have 10 years of consecutive growth, which is incorrect again. On here, as you can see, they dropped right here in 2020, and that is obviously because Rona. And down here again, they have an annual payment of $5.20 versus $6.80. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're doing your own research, because you want to pay attention to that, because Robinhood is also incorrect with the 7.8 dividend yield. It's close on here, but just keep that in mind when you're doing your research on this, guys. So next up on my list is POWERSHARES CEF Income Composite Portfolio, which is a mouthful, or PCEF. I have them at an average cost of $20.09. I own 28 of them. They are 4.15% of my portfolio. Today's return is $3.08 for a total return of $46.26, and I own a total equity of $608.72. So I do have an upcoming dividend from these guys, which is I own 28 of them. They pay 0.136 per share, so that's a total of $3.81. And you can see that their dividend is quite steady throughout the past year. It doesn't fluctuate too crazy, but these guys are another one that pays out every single month, and they are just tracking, so yield focused closed-end funds. So they are tracking high yield stocks and large CEFs and everything such that something that's going to pay dividends back to POWERSHARES, and they are tracking the high yield ones. So we'll go to track your dividends. This is another, like I said, this is a website that I do like to use, even though this update has them a little weird. But 21.74 of the last update on here, a 7.86% trailing dividend, annual payout of $1.71, and their payout ratio is 0, which is obviously incorrect because they do pay out every single month. But if we go by this information on here, for dividends 7.34%, trailing dividend yield is 7.86, annual payment $1.60, and 0 years of consecutive growth, which is technically correct because they do fluctuate from month to month, but it is by very, very little. And actually, if we go back to Robinhood, we can check out their last year since Rona hit, and their high was right around 23, and they're sitting around 21. So they're actually recovered quite well, and I do continue to expect that they will continue to grow. So next up here, we do have Apple. So I did hop on the Apple train a little bit late because Apple at the time was expensive. They did have the stock split, which I did get in on, but I started investing only about a couple weeks before the stock split was announced. But as you see, I have them at an average cost of $107.27. I own 6 of them. They are 4.77% of my portfolio. Today's return is $2.58, and I have a total return of $55.15. They are $698.76 of my total portfolio equity. And obviously, Apple, they have things like Mac, iPhone, iPads, iCloud, Apple TV, things like the Apple Watches, Beats, all that fun stuff. You guys know Apple, I'm sure you do, in some way, shape, or form, and they do pay a dividend, which is pretty rare for a tech company like them. But I see it's not very big. I do own 6 of them. They pay 20 or 0.205 for a dividend, so $1.23 on November 13th. I just got paid. But Apple obviously is a tech giant, and I expect them to continue to grow because they are hardly even affected by Rona here. And I expect them to continue to grow because they are such a massive company and they own such little percent of the total world's market in cellular devices. So there is a lot of room for them to continue to grow in that market. But if we go over to track your dividends, 116.58% USD for dividend yield is 0.7, a total annual payout of 82 cents, payout ratio of 24.72, consecutive dividend growth 7 years, annual payout, trailing yield, and forward yield, right? So again, Apple is such a safe stock to invest in because they are proven, people love them, and the people that buy Apple are hardcore Apple enthusiasts. All right, so before we get into the last one, guys, here, if you wouldn't mind checking the description below. I have my Robinhood, my Acorn, my Yada down there. Check those out if you want to get some free things, free stocks with Robinhood, free $5 with Acorn, and 20 or 100 free tickets through Yada down there. I'd appreciate any help with that. And remember that Acorn is getting donated to charity at the end of 52 weeks. All right, let's get into the last one. And then last on my list, guys, is Microsoft. So I love Microsoft products. I know a lot of people love them or hate them, but obviously I'm on a Windows computer operating Windows 10. I love Xbox. I love xCloud. Microsoft has their hands in so much little individual companies as well. I'm sure you guys know Microsoft because they're a massive corporation. They're anything from U.S. intelligence to iCloud to Microsoft Teams, and obviously you got Microsoft Office. Just plenty of great products that people love to use for business and play, and I use them just to track my dividends on my personal Excel spreadsheets. I love them. But I can see I own 4 of them. They are 5.86% of my portfolio. I have them at an average cost of $192.24. Today's return is $5.48, and my total return is $92.01. They are $860 of my total portfolio. If we go down here, I own 4 of them. I got paid out on, or it's going to get paid out, on December 10th at $56 or 56 cents per share for a total of $2.24. So again, this is another tech company that has a dividend, which is pretty crazy because tech companies don't tend to pay out a dividend. So even though it is so low, I know that this is a growth company. So this company is going to continue to grow long into the future. Now, again, here is the dip from Rona. So they were affected a little bit by Rona, not unlike Apple, but they have since recovered and then some. So just keep that in mind when you're looking into these guys. I would highly recommend these guys because I love pretty much everything Microsoft. If we go over to track your dividends, they are $2.15 $215.18 for a dividend yield of 0.95, annual payment of $2.04, payout ratio of 32.85%. They have a 16-year consecutive growth as well, and their trailing dividend yield is 0.95. So they're extremely steady, extremely consistent, and I will be continuing to buy into Microsoft as much as I can because I see them growing quite heavily in the future here. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 holdings in my account that pay dividends. So we have CRT, SPG, PCEF, Apple, and Microsoft. All great companies in my opinion. Obviously, I own so much of them, and I'm going to continue to buy them dollar cost average in, and I'm planning on holding long term. That is key with dividend payments. Again, guys, I appreciate every single person that tuned in. Let me know your guys' either top holdings or your favorite stocks. I love looking into stocks, so if you would, I wouldn't mind that. Make sure you leave that in the comment below. If you have any suggestions for how I can improve my quality, I've been really trying on it, improving my quality in my videos. I would appreciate that as well. But with that being said, guys, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're green. I hope you're sticking to your strategies again. And as always, I hope you're staying safe. Awesome. Have a good day. Peace.